Off-campus disappointed me. It proved me wrong. Because I thought this was going to be another painfully overhyped booktok romance. And honestly, I can't even blame myself for thinking that. I mean, seriously, look at it from the outside. Fake dating, popular hockey captain, beautiful college campus, parties everywhere. It instantly screams in your mind, yep, that's another cringe booktok series. But then I actually watched it. And somehow, against all odds, I ended up genuinely liking it. Not because it reinvented romance or came up with something crazy original idea, but because it executed familiar ideas better than expected. So, what is Off Campus actually about? The story takes place at Briar University and follows Hannah Walls, a talented musical student trying to keep her scholarship while carrying emotional baggage from her past. And Garrett Graham, the university star, hockey captain who is under pressure both on and off the ice. Their lives collide. A fake dating arrangement enters the picture, and on the surface, it sounds like the beginning of another predictable college romance. Except, this is not really what the show is about. The fake dating is just the door that gets you inside. What actually kept me watching was how naturally these characters become part of each other's life. Instead of rushing into romance, the show spends time letting them become friends, they joke around, help each other, support each other, and slowly become people who genuinely feel safe together. And that's where I realized this wasn't the cringe fest I was expecting. And Garrett was probably the biggest surprise. The first time you see him, he looks like every stereotypical popular athlete ever, confident, jokey, campus celebrity. I was already preparing myself for another bad boy with Epps character. Then the layer starts coming up. Behind all the confidence is someone dealing with years of emotional abuse from his father and constantly trying to live up with impossible expectations. Even better, he doesn't become another toxic romantic lead. He's surprisingly respectful, passionate, and emotionally aware. And that's a huge reason why the relationship actually works. Hannah is just as important. She isn't written as someone who only exists to fall in love. She has her own goals, her own struggles, and her own emotional journey completely separate from Garrett. Her fight to keep her scholarship and her attempts to rebuild trust after past trauma makes her feel like a real person instead of a romance stereotype. And then there are the friendships. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much from the supporting cast, but they're one of the show's biggest strengths. The hockey guys actually feel like close friends instead of comic relief. Allie brings warmth and personality to almost every scene she is in. Logan quietly becomes one of the most dependable characters in the group. Dean has enough charisma that you immediately want to see more of him. And Tucker somehow becomes the emotional glue holding everyone together. The world feels lived in. And another thing I love was the atmosphere. Everything has this warm, nostalgic college feeling. The campus looks inviting, the hockey games were energetic, and the parties feel fun instead of forced. And the music isn't just there for background noise, it actually helps to tell the story and their misunderstanding. The online buzz and clips will make you think this would be a light comfort romance. Ironically, they barely hint at the emotional depth underneath. The series deals with trust, constant trauma, emotional abuse, friendship, and healing with far more care than expected. Most of the drama comes from a genuine personal struggle rather than characters refusing to communicate for 5 episodes straight. However, is the series perfect? No. The pacing slows down in parts and some expression scenes aren't nearly as strong as near natural interaction between the characters. But those problems become easy to overlook because I genuinely care about these peoples. They're probably the biggest compliment I can give right now. It doesn't make you invest in the romance, it makes you invest in the people. And once that happens, every emotional moment lands so much harder. I started off campus expecting another overhyped, shallow booktok adaptation and that I'd probably forget in a week. Instead, I ended up watching a series built of friendship, trust, vulnerability, and genuine emotional connection. And honestly, I never expected to recommend it as much as I do right now.